Hello. Hey, Mike here with the Administers. Kind of felt like carrying on and needing to kind of ramble. Felt like rambling. Got carried on all day. Yeah. Minding the Father all day long. Couldn't get him out of my mind. Wasn't trying. It's a good day. Hey, we're here to amuse you. Try. Not a comedian. I like comedy, but hey, we're here today to talk about Leon Russell real quick. Reason being, I'm from Tulsa. Going back to Tulsa one more time. Home sweet Oklahoma. Yeah. Well, Leon, he's got another song we're going to talk about. But let's talk about Leon first. Ooh. I've got my Leon's barbershop. Leon always wore a t-shirt, Gil's Head Shop. You know who Gil is? Gil. Jill. It's a Hebrew baby name. Happiness. You got a happy head? Is your head happy? Hey, Leon had a happy head. He's a thinker. I think he was Prometheus, but he wasn't a method. He was definitely original. He was the Prometheus. That's why meth's such a big deal. Stay away. Leon, the lion-hearted. Because Claude Russell Bridges is his name. Claude Russell Bridges. The Russell. Sure, he was Claude. He had hands. Those claws could tear up a piano and a guitar. Could tear it up, tear it up. The bear claws, he pretty much worked on his own, did his own thing. He didn't get tied up with the clauses, Hollywood's clauses, all that nonsense and their mess. He was a wizard. He didn't need their wizardry. He knew symbology better than they did. At least as well. Because symbology is everywhere around you. You don't know it. You don't see it. Your subconscious does. Claude Russell Bridges, he was a wrestler. He wrestled up those words. He wrestled up those notes. Those songs, he wrestled up the audience. He wrestled up the performers he wrestled up the gigs. He arranged everything. He was the arranger, the lone arranger. Claude Russell. He had a roux or two, didn't he? Brewed it up, stewed it up. Had the elements. He knew the angles, had all the angles. He tried all the angles, saw all the angles. He could see. Think he'd been to G-Land? The land that time forgot is G-Land pineal gland. That's the land time forgot. Actually, it was stolen. Journey to the center of the earth. Whose earth? Now we're rambling, aren't we? This is what I call the ramble sessions. Because we're getting into that higher mind, that right ascension meridian. That single eye, mind's eye, flame of mind stuff. Lake of fire. Whose lake's on fire? No, they taught you to be afraid of the lake of fire. That Keys girl got her key in her ear. Tickles the cochlea. Coachella. Alicia, the Asiya. See, the means the. Al means the. Alex, the spot. X marks it. Chi, Chi, God's mark, the cross. Leon, how many pictures have you seen with his Holy Trinity shirt? He didn't hide love just in the melody. He hid love everywhere in the symbology. Trying to send you a message. Send us a message about the island and the bluebirds and the hummingbirds and the golden eyes. A lot of those love songs, they're about the Mother Creator. She was in the cook doing all the cooking. At the hearthside is Hiesta. See, Zeus, Jupiter Zeus, which is Jesus, because he's expansion. That's expansion. That middle finger actually means Saturn, and he's the leader of the pack. Now, I get rambling, I get off track. Gotta get back on track here. Get my tractor beam. You know, John Lennon, George Harrison. See, John Lennon, they were cut from the same cloth. Lennon, Harrison, Leon, all cut from the same cloth. John just had it out there for a little more people to see. All alchemists, you know, all of them have third eyesight. See, that's what Hollywood does. If you don't have it, they're going to give it to you. They're going to teach it to you. They're not going to transform your mind. No, they're not going to enlighten. You're not going to be enlightened. You're not going to be raptured with the Christ, caught up in the air. Happens in here. See, Leon's a bridge to that. A bridge to that eye. Out in the wood. Hey, get out in the wood. Hey. Out in nature, baby. Ralph Smart, Infinite Walters. Out in nature, baby, is Back to the Future. Yeah, let me say it again. The repeat. Back to nature is Back to the Future. You know, out in nature, getting out in nature is Back to the Future. All the Native Americans are Aquarians. They're the water bearers. They got the air sign. I'm not Native American. I'm a Viking. I'm Scandinavian. We shipped our men all over the world. It's a good scent, our mint. You know, some of those songs out there, if you really pay attention, you'll hear the symbology. If your Chucks are on, I know what I'm looking for, you know. Your Chucks, you know, Chuck Berry. Got your Chuck Berries on. You got your fragrance on. You're smelling good, wearing your Chucks. I know some of you are. Some of you good old rappers out there know what I'm talking about here. Because they're wrapped in the mind of Ra, the raiment. Going back to Alcatraz. Hey, are you at home in Alcatraz? We're going back to Tulsa right here, but are you at home in Alcatraz? That's a Leon song I wanted to talk about because Al means the. Let me repeat myself. Al means the. Now that's the cat Raz, but it's something else too. See, you got Ra in there. You got the Ra, and you got the Z. You got the Ra Z. Ooh. Let's talk about Ra Z. Ra. Raiment, Ra, the ultimate rapper, the Son at the Most High, and the Z. THZ actually grows THC. THZ is light. It's luminous. It's T waves. It's electromagnetic waves. And who's electromagnetic? Mary Magdalene. Mary Magdalene. Mary moves the line of sign. She's waving all the time for eternity. You marry in Jesus. You marry in Yah. Marry in Yah. Marry in Yah. You got Mary in and Yah in Yah. Because there's power in Mary and Yah. And that's THZ. Hallelujah to your THZ. I was a C student, but I didn't have this C. I found Mary and Yah in about high school. My English teacher said, "Mike, aren't you pink-eyed this morning?" Every morning. I went from a C student to an A student. A. You know, A, the first, the Alpha, the Aleph. I went there. Come ride with me, God said. Come ride with me. Magic carpet ride with Ahura Mazda, God of Zarathustra. Kirk means church. Kirk had Ahura for his comms officer. And Kirk had the con. He knew the con of religion. Religion. Ahura Mazda, God of Zarathustra. Mazda. That's why there's a car out there. It's named after the god of fire. Had a weird firing system at one time. Or a weird piston system or something. The pi, they had a weird pi going on. Pi, your infinite pi. You know, the table, it kind of looks like a table, that pi symbol. Jesus is at the table with all these elements. The Maseroth, that's the big wheel that keeps on turning. The musicians, the musicons know something you don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe you learned it. Picked up a thing or two. The Moody Blues, they no longer needed to search for the lost chord. They had it. They were tied to it. That was the string they were on, the one they were pulling, the chain they were pulling. They found the lost chord. Ooh, see my iCloud up there? Who's in the clouds? Got my cloud system. You know, I'm in advertising. We learn the mind. That's what it's about. Knowing that mind, that's why the media can mess with you so bad. You know, that's why media's, my new term for it is rabbit hole headquarters. The media. I don't care which one you're talking to. Because they're either controlled by one or the other. The either or. They're not in the middle. There is not an unbiased opinion out there. They're either on Trump's side or they're on Biden's side. They're Biden time. Biden's time is Biden time. Don't bite your nails. You know, the trumpeters and the Trump side. Yeah, well, Trump is the old, you know, he's the deal maker, the negotiator. That's why he's there. He's going to make a deal. So we got sides, you know, we got to decide. And that doesn't mean Trump's side, and that doesn't mean Biden's side. That means that side right in the middle path. Who is in the middle? On the cross. There's a thief over here and a thief over here, and there's one in the middle. It's not a thief. The path we're supposed to be on is the middle path. Yahweh knows the way. Jesus is the truth, the way, the life, the light. You're on his path. Are you a Jesus freak? Certainly am. Skiddly D, you know, Popeye he scattered around a lot. He knew the bullshit. Sweet pea, the sweet pineal. Did a video on it, watch it sometime. Taurus fields, gotta know your Taurus fields. I can ramble for days, put you in a daze. But the right days to be in is the monastery. Go to the monastery. The stairway to heaven is 7 steps of the chakra system. Get up there to the crown, the royal crown kola. We've all been condimented. Got to go 7 up. Have a 7 up. Goes you know. The contrary, Prometheus. Individual. Hey, let's talk about Tupac. Golly, this is going to be fun. Tupac Shakur. He was a shaker, wasn't he? A shaker. Two means you. And everybody has a little Pac, and they all, you know, their pack, their Pac. Their pack, their Pac, their pace. Pace. They have a pace. And a posse. You know, Tupac had a posse. Didn't he? Double entendre. They're everywhere. Tupac. Well, there's your 2 in your Pac. You know, he had a pace about him. He had a pace. What was his pace? You know, because that goes with the shake. You shake of your pace. It's a shake of your pace. Huh? What is it? Shake of your pace. Tupac Shakur. Shah of Iran. Shah of Persia. Shah. Got your gray Shah? You got your Shah on? Keeping you warm? Your Shah? Tupac Shakur. Kur is the underworld. Yeah, it's below the heart, below the solar plexus. Is that where you're vibrating? Is that where your pace is? Or can you break through the heart? Shake a little better, shake a little faster. Quit shaking your tail feathers. Shake something else. Is the ancient and the original. And that's a Tupac Shakur. Kind of wanting to know where your pace is, but you can look around at people and tell because, you know, everybody's wearing the mark of the beast already. It's pretty obvious. By the fruit. Buddha, enlightened under the Bodhi tree. The Bodhi tree is a fig tree. Fig flowers on the inside. Go into meditation. Crack the nut. Piezoelectric stimulation. Release the DMT and get off the meth. Release the DMT, get off the meth. Be Prometheus and original. Be Leon. Lion-hearted. Gentle as a lamb. Transformed mind. Sarah and Abram. Sarah and Abraham. The breath of life. It's what happens. Nobody wants a kid at 90, child at 90 or 75. 9 is man's consciousness. 7 is divinity. 5 is the 5 senses. So there's divine intervention over your 5 senses. Transformed mind at 90 is possible. The reborn. We sacrifice 10% of our mind. That's the tithe. We give 10% of our mind over to Christ. Get into that theta mental state. And if he carries you onto delta, gamma, you'll know a little bit about enlightenment, transformation, and rapture. You'll be a believer. You'll be a knower. I know something you don't know. Watch your cartoons. There's so much info there. Really. They're for your head. Glad I loved them as a kid. I'm glad Mommy had me in church, too. Because I walked away as soon as I could. But I'm back again.